We're joined by Marvin Bell now, who plays a real interesting role, especially in this 2025 year. And CJ, tell me how Marv came into the picture.
Well, how it really got started is as the judges got older at Cypress Cove, they could no longer bend down or get on their knees. Well, they could get on their knees, but getting off the knees was the problem.
They could never get back off.
Yeah,
Right.
They would measure using just a regular ruler. And so the idea came to me that maybe there's another way that we could actually go about doing this where they wouldn't have to get on their hands and knees. I needed somebody who had the engineering skills and who had a printer that could print these parts. And Marv just happened to fit the bill.
Now, some of the people watching this will say, a printer?
Yes.
You print on paper.
Yeah, no. Well, very stiff paper.
Anyway, so somebody approached you, Marv?
Yeah, CJ came to me and said, could you build something that would maybe encircle the jack pulling or whatever, I call it a pulling, but the jack, encircle it. And then we didn't go much further, just could they do that? Yeah. And I did that, and I said, well, where will we go from here? And I think the next thing, I added a few ideas to it, and I pretty quickly got to the dual cylinder idea. Nobody seemed to have done this. I did a web search and did a patent search, and Google patent search, and nobody seemed to have done anything like that. So that's kind of how we got going, and then I guess Rich and CJ came in, and we traded ideas.
Yes.
We talked about the handle, how we wanted to do that.
Okay, so you've got different versions.
Yeah, this is version 3, and I saved anybody the trouble. I put some nomenclature on the outside of that thing and printed it right into the cylinder.
Okay.
It looks, as far as the looks go, they're very similar.
Right.
But
you can see this is a little wimpy
here.
And I definitely, I think, made some improvements here. It's a much sturdier, and then it's easier to move this up and down.
Right.
So if you get into a situation where there's a significant level difference, you could actually do your searching with this. And I think you want to avoid rocking as much as possible.
Yeah.
So,
So this gadget here, where's that come from?
Okay, that's just a commercial measurement device, Bosch toolmaker,
Is it like a laser beam?
It's a laser, and this specifically, I chose the lowest power laser that we could find because there's a health or safety hazard. You don't want to be playing this around.
Yeah.
Somebody have to stare at it for a while, but this is only good for 100 feet.
Yeah.
That's plenty. There's only one place in this process where you should be introducing any error, and that's in the placement of the friend over the jack, okay? Mm-hmm. That's the only place you should introduce error, and there are some techniques to avoid that error.
So with this one, we found, I've been watching the judges, and it's really pretty easy to drop over the jack. I haven't seen any significant movement out of it.
Marv, what's your background?
Mostly computing. Spent a lot of time in the laboratory. Not engineering, not science, but I've always had a workshop. I've always had some pretty nice workshops, and I think I spent a large part of my life in what I call the subtractive process, where you start out with a tree, you start knocking it into pieces in various ways, Sometimes you reconstruct the tree for a while, make plywood or something, and then you're back in. This process is additive, okay? You start out with nothing and start laying stuff down. And it's really interesting to do it. You wind up certain things like this cap is printed upside down because it needs to go down in and it needs to have a lot of voids. And so you print it upside down,
How long have you had a 3D printer?
Close to 2 years now, close to 2 years.
You're going to need a bigger 3D printer.
Well, I have already purchased a new printer. The other one, for a reason CJ knows, the company, Anchor, you're very familiar with Anchor, I'm sure. Anchor made the printer that I originally bought, and I bought it because of the Anchor name, quite frankly. And they basically bailed out of the business. There's just too many people in the business now. There must be at least 20 big brands. Mm-hmm. And Anchor just bailed. They got out of it overnight. And all of a sudden, they ran out of filament, they ran out of parts, they ran out of everything.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
You were almost forced to get
and just got out.
And you probably got a bigger one too.
Well, actually, I didn't. I mean, slightly. I would say it's about with an 11-inch cube. It's 256 millimeter. I'd have to calculate it, but it's a cube.
Okay.
And it can go as high as it can go wide and deep. So it's a cube. And the first printer basically moved the base this way. Okay.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
To print.
And then the actual extruder, the print head, stayed in one position but moved back and forth this way. So that accomplished and it could of course move up and down to go layer 0, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, and it takes 5 layers for a millimeter.
Oh wow.
5 layers.
What's it do? Run all night?
Well, it can. Something like this. This is about a 2-hour print just for the outer cylinder. Okay, about a 2-hour print. If you would like, I could also gift you I could probably give you a time lapse of this. I don't know if that'd be interesting. You get time lapse probably down to less than a minute. That would show.
I think it probably would be interesting.
I'll try to prepare one and send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're seeing 2.5 hours of printing in just 10 seconds.
603. 595. Go closer. Go 1 point.